Hello everyone, welcome to Naren Savita Mess. This is Naren and it is time for Mindful Mondays. And I am so happy to be doing Mindful Mondays because, like I was mentioning on yesterday's video, I actually ended up doing a meditation and it actually gave me a headache. And today I did the exact same meditation and I had quite a different reaction to it. I definitely, I think usually one thing that does happen when, at least when I meditate, is, you know, there, you tend to start having a lot of feelings and I'm not not very good with feelings, so I do know that today I definitely um, I think I was tearing up a little bit during the meditation, and as a result my head feels a lot lighter today. um, but one thing it definitely shows me is that I need to keep practicing. Practice makes perfect, and part of the reason to practice this much is to you know s- pretty much, as they say, surrender, right? Open yourself up to all of your emotions. And it's it's one of those things where uh, you know saying that to maybe a younger version of me would have been like, okay, fine, I can do it, because I definitely was, um, I would say I was a crybaby. I mean, I was no, it's not. I would say it's a confirmed fact that I was a crybaby when I was a young kid. Um, but I think I pretty much got into the hang of bottling it up and everything. And today when I actually ended up doing the same meditation, I did experience a little more freedom. I definitely experienced a little more, um, my head feels a little bit lighter, and I definitely did tear up quite a bit in the uh, in during the meditation, even though it was a very short meditation. It was, I think, 15-16 minutes long. But I think that way, you know I see it as maybe one of the easier meditations to do. And you know perhaps once I become better at it, I can maybe progress to some of the more advanced meditations, because it's not just about visualizing. The It's not just about visualizing space, or um, clearing your mind up. It's also about concentrating. It's about really going inside. And you know um, and I definitely know on this journey, and that is why I actually started this I started this series on Mindful Mondays, is because it is going to be a process where I definitely have to break down a lot of barriers, a lot of pretty much shields that I put up to, you know, handle my own life. So, I think, me just having the space once a week will allow me to at least talk a little bit about it, and just be a little more on the vulnerable side over here, so that I can maybe even expedite the process of uh, expedite the process of actually getting better at the meditation. So yes, please, do share what your thoughts are on on this whole idea of meditation or being mindful, and also for me to be a little more vulnerable, especially when considering that I would much rather joke about everything else rather than discuss things that don't exactly make me feel all that positive. But of course, I think it is something important to do, especially when this new course that I'm taking, right? This new path that I'm on, which does feature meditation, much more meditation, and actually using the power of my own mind to fix my body. This process is definitely going to um, require a lot of unlearning, a lot of learning. I don't want to call it relearning, because technically I don't want to learn the same things that I pretty much did to build up my own protections. So unlearning and then new learning, so that I can be so that I can chart this process as well. And of course, one thing that I might do as a result of all of this is pretty much actually go back and reevaluate a lot of things that happened in my life at one point, and um, I didn't pay them much attention. um, but maybe this is going to be that one way that I can go back to whatever I did over the past many years, to see what might happen as a result. So yes, so a lot of journey ahead. Hopefully, you do end up being uh, being part of that. And of course, the best way that you can do by being a part of it is, of course, by dropping your comments, dropping your thoughts, your insights, your experiences, so that we can get a conversation started. And of course, with all of that said, I do hope that your week started off very strong. And of course, with all of that said, here's wishing you good night, sweet dreams. By the way, this is Naren Savit MS. I am Naren, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.